We've got a lot of things to get through, and I'm going to get to them as quickly as I possibly can. Just got a few things that we have to take care of first, so just bear with me one moment. Again, appreciate you being here. Appreciate that so much. If you have not followed us yet, we are live on TikTok, Facebook, as well as YouTube. Just had to change that so we got the date up here. All right, so you're looking at overall risks that we have here for today. We're going to put up our weather models. These are estimates right now that we're looking at here. So just be aware in the center of your screen. But before I do, I want to thank before I go too far into that, I do want to thank our wonderful sponsors. We've got Mission Nutrition, Fit Revolution, and Refuel Nutrition. Stop by any one of the clubs today. They are definitely there, ready and willing to help you with your nutritional goals, whether it be from a protein shake that's packed with all kinds of nutrition, or if it's an energy bomb that you need to get through the day, get that clarity that you need, they will help you out. And one of their great coaches can even set you up on a body scan to be able to figure out kind of where your baseline is, where you are as far as nutritional goals and where you want to go to. So check them out. And that body scan to figure out your BMI and all that, it's all free. So make sure that you stop by one of their locations and tell them 605 Chaser sent you. All right, Prairie Pro General Contractors, if you need a new roof, and that is a possibility after you see some of this crazy weather that's in areas of South Dakota and Nebraska, you're going to want to check with Prairie Pro General Contractors. Contact them today for a free estimate at 605 880 7776. Let's get to our 7 day forecast. We've got 7 days of fun, right? So today for Sioux Falls, areas of mostly sunny, then chance of rain showers later today. Mainly those showers are going to be later in the day. After 3 o'clock is what I'm expecting for areas of Sioux Falls, South Dakota. That'll taper off Tuesday, and we'll get a cooler temperatures, 74 degrees, north-northwest wind. And Wednesday, looking mid 70s, cooler temperatures, kind of a relief. Thursday and Friday, we bring in some more of those showers and thunderstorms possibility. We do bring that southeast wind back in for Friday night, and then that will warm things up as you get into Saturday and Sunday. Possibility of some more storms showing up. What about other areas? Let's go ahead and take a look at that. Let's take a look at Aberdeen. Aberdeen, you got today's risks are some storms. Again, that's going to be later today. Unfortunately, we got areas of smoke still sticking around some of these areas. And then Thursday and Friday, some more stormy pattern come through as we get that southeast wind. We start bringing that moisture back into our area. How about areas of Pierce, South Dakota? We do have slight chances for showers. Again, most of that is going to be later this afternoon, so just stay mindful and be alert, stay weather aware. And we're going to get to all the rest of the U.S. here for folks that are joining. We're going to get to all that here very shortly, so I appreciate you sticking around. Friday and Saturday, another shot at some thunderstorms. Uh, 75 degrees for a high on Friday. Friday night, you got 53. And as we get into Sunday, mostly sunny, bringing back some of that cooler air from the northwest. As we get into Rapid City, we do have possibility of some storms today. Again, they're not going to be near as severe as they are expected in the eastern part of South Dakota. So just be mindful, weather aware. It's general thunderstorms is what expected. Maybe some marginal hail later in the day, but not anything huge. Wednesday, we will start to see things ramp up a little bit more. As you can see, southeasterly wind, very light, 2 to 7 miles per hour. And then a stormy pattern continues for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for your rounding out your weekend. All right, let's go ahead and take a peek at the rest of the weather throughout the U.S. Look at that. All right, this is what you all wanted. So thanks, Robert Craig Jr. for the follow. Thanks, Bengal 15 for the follow. Appreciate it. Let's go ahead and see what's expected. We're going to take a look at HRRR here, and we're going to give you radar estimates right now. This is radar estimates of what could end up happening later today. You can see the model time and the current time. So the model time, and we'll kind of ramp this through here in the morning hours, not too bad. Let's go down into Texas area and show that real quick, what's expected, because that's where things are firing off later this afternoon to begin with. 4 o'clock time frame. That's a radar estimate there. We've got a few thunderstorms kind of over by the Amarillo, Lubbock area. And then as we go a little bit further, we're going to take each zone one by one. So I appreciate y'all joining us. Amarillo, a lot of that is going to be mainly a hail threat, but there could be some isolated tornadoes, I think, in some of these along I-40. As we move it along, we're looking at around 7 p.m. You got a line of storms right along I-40 there. Even possibility of having that slight risk dip down into areas just west of San Angelo. So it's a possibility. We're looking at this here is looking at around 10 p.m. and then around midnight time frame still could see a lot of storms over in the OKC area. Look at that. We're going to back this up a little bit and just show you kind of the progression of how that's expected to go. Again, the yellow is the slight risk, and the darker shade of green is the marginal risk. You can see the model time trending. There's going to be some possibility of some supercells in those. And just be mindful areas of Oklahoma. While right now you don't have that tornado risk for areas of Oklahoma, there is going to be a significant wind threat, I believe, based on what I'm seeing here. All right, let's go back up north. Let's show South Dakota and let's show Kansas. Kansas timing, that's going to be western portions of Kansas, around Scott City, around 7 or 8 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Going to be late, but it's going to be a lot of moisture with this. All right, that's a look at the timing for there. Let's go to Grand Island area, Nebraska. Take a look at this. Hold on, folks, 1 second. How about Hamilton, Texas? All right, I'll take a look at Hamilton, Texas here very shortly. I appreciate you, Victoria. All right, these are weather models. We're taking a look at this. All right, let's back this up a little bit. We're going to cover Sioux Falls area as well as Nebraska area. There's going to be a lot of possibilities for tornadoes down here. I think they're going to end up increasing from a 2% to a 5% in and around areas of North Platte. That's my thought. O'Neill, maybe. So look at this timing here, 6:30. We've got down by Hayward in Iowa, O'Neill, and then all just a little bit north of North Platte. And then we've got these storms. Build a line right there. And let me shut this off real quick with these today's risks and window capture here. So that way you guys can see that. Lot of possibilities in here. The main thing too is going to be moisture. There's going to be a lot of moisture. See, as you can see, midnight, it's not even done with areas of South Dakota, Minnesota. Timing of that, again, sometimes late this afternoon into the early evening. So around 5:30 for areas of Yankton, and then after that, it really ramps up and goes into the Sioux Falls area. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at, hey, Tufts Weather, thank you so much for sending the heart me's. I appreciate it. Hamilton, South, or Hamilton, Texas. We'll get down there. 1 second. All right, near Gatesville, kind of where the Colleen. Let's go down to that area here. San Angelo, 1 second here. Just trying to find my main areas. So, Abilene, Abilene, Abilene. All right, it's getting a little tricky to find those. There we go. Okay, I think I'm pretty close. All right, I think I'm pretty close. Are you, so Victoria, I hope I'm getting you pretty close here. Um, oh, it's way over here. Oh, you guys are in the general thunderstorms, so you guys should be good. Yeah, my son's helping me with this. So you guys are in the general thunderstorms. Tomorrow, things could change a little bit. Let me go ahead and put tomorrow's outlook on here. So tomorrow, that's where your risks are expected to expand, and I'll have a live update tomorrow. So just be sure you're following um, your overnight hours, Hamilton area. You probably want to stay weather aware for your overnight hours tonight. Appreciate the follows. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at again the risk for tornadoes for today. Let's go back out to our default view here. Okay, again, this area here, you can barely see it. Let me just shut off the models here a little bit. There is the risk for tornadoes today. 2% risk all the way. And like I said, I truly believe there's going to be some areas around North Platte, Grand Island area, somewhere in here, maybe even up into O'Neill area, that could end up having a 5% risk. That's my thought. Jackson, Tennessee. Jackson, Tennessee, you guys are good today. Let's go ahead and take a look at that here. 1 second. All right, Tennessee, you guys are good today. Your risks increase as you get into day three, but that's going to be general thunderstorms for day three, which ends up being Wednesday, so on the 4th. But I'm not able to throw the models out that far. It's I would have to utilize GFS, and right now I don't trust GFS. I can't talk. As far as the tornado risk for tomorrow, that's going to be covering areas like Madison, Wisconsin, Rockford, Illinois. Let's take a look here. Tomorrow, so Clark County, South Dakota, Brooklyn. Let's go ahead and take a look at Clark County. I can't look at the dew point right now, but all right, let's go ahead and take a look. This is the risks for the tornadoes, so I'm just running through the models here. 1 second. Most of this looks, based on this weather model, Clark County, you're going to stay relatively dry. Doesn't look like this is going to go that far north. Most of this is going to stay farther south. You're going to the pool. They're going to the pool. So let me go ahead and show you some of the other risks that we have to worry about here. And that is not sure where that is on here. I'm trying to look for our no, our precip. Here we go. Day one precip. I got to shut off this. And let's go to day one 24-hour QPF. Here we go. All right. So this is the quantitative precipitation factors. And the reason why I want to bring this up, this is over the next 24 hours. Let me go ahead and put the probe on here and show kind of what's expected here. It's looking like it's having a hard time figuring that out. 1 second. What I'm trying to show you folks, and I can't right now play this out because unfortunately I'm still, this is a new tool that I'm using, so it's a little tricky for me to get that moving through here as best as possible. But the main point is lots of moisture is expected, 2 to 4 inches of rainfall over a 24-hour period in some of these zones here. So lots of flooding is expected up and down this whole area. These reds, that's the 2 to 4 inches of rainfall in a 24-hour period. All right. So we got lots going on here. Thanks, Tufts Weather. I appreciate the solid for you sharing the live. I appreciate that very much. Day two. That ends up shifting quite a bit. And then that rain increase potential over in areas of Missouri, Oklahoma. There's going to be a lot of flooding possibilities over in Kansas. Like I said, Oklahoma, all those areas. That's the QPF. That's for tomorrow. All right, let's go back and shut this off here. And let's take a look again at the convective outlooks here. This is the tornado risk for today. This is your categorical. So basically, the slight risk is the yellow. Oh, Tim Betts, Storm Chaser on Facebook. He cannot chase today. That's a bummer. Yeah, it's going to be a little tricky for me too. I won't be able to do that, not going to lie. All right, so this is also the hail risk that we have here. So lots of hail. And let's go ahead and take a look at the wind risk. Again, that wind risk right there, 15% in the yellow zone. Do you think day three will have a tornado risk in Ohio? In my opinion, let's take a look at day three real quick. No, I don't think it's going. I don't think it's going to Tufts weather. That's my opinion. But things can change, obviously. And then this is day two. This is tomorrow's risk. It kind of ramps up farther east, and I do believe that's going to be again quite a huge risk for wind. That's going to be the primary threat, but the wind and the hail. But there is also, obviously, this is the tornado risk that you can see with the green. There's that 2% risk. I believe there's going to be some areas in here that'll definitely have a 5%. It's just going to be very isolated areas, and we'll have to do that for a weather update tomorrow. All right, so Minnesota area today. Again, today your risk isn't so bad unless you're in areas of like Marshall, Minnesota. Let me go give you a rundown here of that. We'll pull up these weather models here and bring up the reflective radar loop. Hey, good morning, Jeff. Good morning. Thanks, Haley, for the follow. Appreciate it. All right, we're going to go through this a little bit slower here and show you the radar estimates, okay? This is a look at 6:15 today. This is again radar estimates. This is for Minnesota area. So based on what I'm seeing here, some of that northerly cells over by Morris, Minnesota, and Fergus Falls area at around 2:30 p.m. And then it kind of moves along that I-94. I actually think this slight risk may end up getting extended farther north, um, like just into this Minnesota. Not necessarily over into the Sisseton and Clark County areas, but that still is going to be that marginal risk. And then that will push off towards this Twin Cities area. And take a look at this Fairfax area, quite a bit of hail expected around Redwood Falls area. Okay, you're in Alexandria. So that's farther down here. Hold on one second. All right, so the timing for that, Laverne area, I know that's kind of general area, just going through an update here. This is a possibility of having pretty significant hail right around between 6 p.m. and 7 p.m. Right in this area, Rock Rapids, and then obviously Laverne. If we progress this farther, that's a pretty significant storm right there. Yes, I see it. My son's getting all excited. So as you can see, that's pretty close to your area. I'm sorry I'm not able to pinpoint Alexandria. I know it's somewhere near the Laverne area. I go through there every once in a while, but it's a little tough to get down in there. That's a lot of hail. I'm going to take a look real quick I'm going to clear this out and I'm going to take a look at some of the meso information, the meso data, the significant tornado parameters. And I haven't, it looks like this.